can't really use this anymore. Let's see where we are. My screen looks so different. How are you, Mama? Come on up. How are you? Come on up. Yeah. Come. All right, welcome, everyone. How are we doing? Welcome, everyone on TikTok. This is Instagram. Sorry you're a million miles away. Hey, that's my homework. My cat is eating my homework. Literally. She will shred this till there's nothing left. Do I need this? Hold on, I'm analyzing. 3 to 5. You can have this. Here you go, Mama. There you go. You can have it. All right. Welcome, everyone. Also on YouTube at Ask Ivy the Medium. Good to see everybody. We're going to give this a minute to let a few people tune in before we go ahead and get started. If everyone could please give me I cannot talk. I'm already stumbling over my words. That does not mean I will be slowing down. It will just be a stuttering mess, I'm sure. If you guys could give me a thumbs up here on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube to let me know that you can hear me and see me all right. Juanita Vasquez, welcome. Vanessa, welcome. Just want to make sure that my audio and video is good before I go ahead and get started. I also want to give a quick shout out to my YouTube members: Yolanda Fisher, Chaley, Nature Calls You, Lumen Grove, Anna, Angie Johnson, Mackenzie M, Jennifer Cole, Jennifer Barone, Abby Hicks, Stella Marie, Kim Elizabeth, Denise Bennett, Jayla Beans, Edgar Velardes, Melissa S, Christine Watts, Miami Heat 305-ish, CJG, Shauna Dempsey, Demetris, Language Through Connection. I think I just lost Instagram. Deanna Marie D, Tristan Marion, Me Love 716, Andrea M, and Vanessa. I appreciate you guys so much. And if you want to become a YouTube member, you can switch. Really? Instagram is working? That's interesting. It's dead on my end. I don't even have a screen for it. Let's see what happens. If you guys want to become a YouTube member, switch over to YouTube at Ask Ivy the Medium. Thank you so much for the hearts on TikTok. Hit the join button. It'll show you the 3 different tiers of membership options. Let me see if I can fix this. Diana, do I have Instagram running right now? You can unmute yourself. Just let me know.
I'm still checking. But yeah, I think it's not working.
It's not working. Okay, I'm going to hit live again. We're going to start over. Just on Instagram, obviously. I don't know. It says I'm live now. So let's see what's going on. This happened. Happened on the last show we did too, the other day, whatever we were doing with Instagram. So I'm going to have to plug it in differently, it appears. Should be fine now. Okay, let me know. Just let me know if you can see everything. All right, I think we're good on all platforms. Perfect. So tonight we are doing one of my favorite shows. Are you a psychic, a medium, or an empath? So this is unlimited. Now I can't do that all the time, but I can tonight. So you guys are going to drop your $10 donation And then you can ask whatever question you have about curious experiences, paranormal activities, spiritual awakenings. If you think maybe something you have going on is psychic, mediumistic, or empathic, you can tell me about it and I will categorize it for you. I will let you know what exactly you have going on. The alternative to that is just to leave it open-ended. So you're basically saying, tell me what intuitive abilities I have. Okay, and I will let you know what abilities you have and how you can best use those abilities. We are also, just a couple quick announcements, starting to fill up here at the 1882 Victorian Funeral Home. So if you wanted to book a ghost hunt for your group, a historical tour, or a haunted sleepover experience, you can stay here with up to 25 of your friends. We are on the historical trail. We are on the haunted history trail of New York State, which means this is verifiably very, very haunted. Never a dull moment. So you can come stay here. You can go onto the website to look at booking opportunities, ivyleaguepsychicacademy.com, or you could just go on to my main website, Ivy Rivera Psychic Medium.com, for any of that. Also, parties are starting to book up awfully quick. Vending gigs, you know, bridal stuff. I mean, if it's not already booked. So spring, summer, get your party booked. If you want me to come, I do entertainment, obviously. If you want me to come and do a show, if you want me to come and offer private reads, most people prefer 1 hour of gallery where I read the audience and then I go off and I do private reads for the rest of the evening. We can also get you set up with an entire psychic fair. Certified readers from the Ivy League Psychic Academy. So go onto the website and check that out. If you guys need to book a reading for yourself or a healing, I do work internationally, super simple self-booking system. So you're bound to find something there in my times of availability for yourself. If not, you can always book a video reading or an email reading. We also have coming up Hauntings, Clearings, and Detachments class. So Hauntings, Clearings, and Detachments class is this upcoming Tuesday. And this is a class I'm constantly referring to where I train you in the education behind paranormal activity, how it can negatively influence you, how you can get the upper hand on it. All right, so join us. It's part of our psychic mediumship course. If you're still interested in joining the psychic mediumship course, I could probably squeeze in another 2 people and you could still get caught up at this point, but it's starting to get a little questionable. Okay, you're about 8 classes behind. So, you know, reach out if you're interested because registration's shut down on the website. But this is part of our psychic mediumship course. This Hauntings, Clearings, and Detachments class is open to the public. So you're going to go ahead and get yourself registered, okay, online for that. Again, you could just go to ivyriverapsychicmedium.com and go up in the bar and pull down. It'll say classes and it'll say like Ivy League Psychic Academy. Just pull that down, get yourself registered. So we hope to see you for that. And we also have the dream analysis show, a couple new shows. So I'm testing out a couple new things. And if they get great engagement from you guys, I will happily add them to the 2026 show lineup. Thank you so much for the hearts on TikTok. So first one up is the Dream Analysis Show. This is going to be Monday, March 30th. Mark your calendars. I love doing dream analysis. So this is going to be what it sounds like, dream interpretation. Okay, any type of dream you're having regularly or that is new for you. I'm just having a little issue here with my mic, I think. No, I'm good. All right. So check that out. And then we have on April 8th, Wednesday, April 8th, something unexpected is coming your way. What is it and when? Never done a show like that before. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. And again, if it gets great engagement from you guys, I'm more than happy to add it to the 2026 show lineup. And then we have Thursday, April 16th. What's happening with your money, honey? Finances, career, and investments. So I'm going to answer all of your money questions. Very cool. And again, that's Thursday, April 16th. So mark your calendars, give it some love, and I look forward to doing more of those for sure. We will be at the Margim Manor Winery April 26th from 1 to 4 p.m. for our first Ivy League Psychic Fair of the season. Ivy League Psychic Fairs are, come on up, where myself and certified readers from my Ivy League Psychic Academy are hosted, okay, by different places. And we are offering a psychic fair there on that day. Now, I know she's doing a lot of wine tastings. I know she's also doing a lot more with the community, local artists, and so selling their pieces, including like, you know, jewelry, candles, a bunch of other things. I know Margot, the owner, has really expanded upon that. And she typically does a little ghost story. So Margin Manor Winery has been on like Ghost Hunters. Like she's been on TV a whole slew of times. Okay, so the place is like super crazy haunted, and it's very charming. It was like a nunnery at one point. I mean, there's a lot of history going on there, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So a lot of rich history, a lot of spirit activity, and you'll just come and have a great time. Okay, so come alone and enjoy yourself, or come with a group of friends. And pre-booking is now open for that. Last time I checked, I hadn't even announced it yet, and you guys are just buying up those spots. Okay, so I think I have 3 left. I could be lying as far as I'm concerned. Maybe there's nothing left. I haven't looked. But there are a couple other readers, like I said, from the Ivy League Psychic Academy, who I know have some open spots. Pre-booking is suggested, but walk-ins are also welcome. Reiki 1, 2, and Masters is now available. Okay, so we just recorded it, and my assistant is getting it up onto the website. So if you wanted to get certified with your Reiki 1, 2, or Masters through the Usui Ryoho Reiki method, and I train you in psychic surgery, you may want to check out the new class that we just did. Remember, psychic mediumship course, if you don't want to join with the group, because we are 8 weeks in, and it is the only one I'm teaching in 2026, it is evergreen. Okay, so you could join the psychic mediumship course at any time. And I am also recommending my spiritual life coaching training and certification. So if you're looking for something that's in between like Reiki and giving full-on psychic mediumship readings, that would be spiritual life coaching, where it's more of a counseling type of atmosphere. Okay, and you may want to check that out. Check that out also up on my website. Okay. You guys, I am going to warn you right now. I am super duper tired. My seasonal affective disorder is peaking. Seasonal affective disorder, if you're not familiar, it's also called SAD, S-A-D. A lot of people, you know, just refer to it as like the winter blues, but it's actually far, far more serious than that for some of us. And for me, you know, it's a real battle. I am one of those people, I have it to the absolute maximum degree. So it's debilitating a good portion of the year, because I decide to punish myself and continuously live in New York State, where we don't have sunlight for like 7 months. So that's my own fault, I guess. Regardless, it peaks, not in the middle of winter, but right now. Okay, so if you think you have seasonal affective disorder, be careful. This is peak time for like suicide, mental breakdowns, just absolutely feeling like you cannot stay awake, because you can't, no matter how much you sleep. And it does not peak again in the winter. It actually peaks in spring, and it's getting quite bad for me. So please bear with me, and whatever. Okay, it is what it is. So let's go ahead and get into this today. Oh, I got to do my intro. All right. Welcome, everyone. I'm Ivy Rivera. I'm a psychic medium, a Taino Airwalk, and this is Are You a Psychic, a Medium, or an Empath? Where you drop a $10 donation and I tell you what intuitive abilities you have and how to best use them. At this time, you can ask a question about experiences you're having, or you can leave it open-ended and just say, tell me what abilities I have. Now, tonight is unlimited, meaning you can ask as many questions as you want. I can't do that all the time, but I can tonight. If you prefer to do this privately, or you would like to gift this to someone else, you're going to go up onto my website, Ivy Rivera Psychic Medium.com, and you're going to click on Intuitive Ability Assessment. Thank you so much for the hearts on TikTok. Let's go ahead and get into it. Who do we have first? Diana. Diana, my beautiful producer, is going to be taking your donations and your questions from all platforms. Oh, just something real quick we've been having a little problem with. just because you just made your payment does not mean that you are next. Diana controls who's next. And just because it looks like on your platform, you're the next one up because, again, you just paid or you paid recently, that is not the case. There are 3 different platforms we're working from. Okay, so no need to push and push and push and ask and ask. Now, if you have to go, that's okay. You can tune back in about 24 hours because this will get published only on YouTube at Ask Ivy the Medium, and everything will be time-stamped for you. So you can go back and watch at that time, but please don't push Diana around. She won't be tolerating it, okay? Thanks so much. Edgar Velardes. Any messages they would like me to know right now about my abilities? Okay. Edgar, any messages Spirit may have about your abilities? I'm just hearing pay attention to money. Now, money in this case is not necessarily about cash. When we are talking about giving your healing, giving your channeling ability, okay, giving any type of messages out to someone else, we're not necessarily, because I know you're a student and you're still learning, okay, we're not talking about cash or what you're charging. Now, down the road, mind you, that will probably become an issue you have to deal with several times. But right now, we're talking about exchange. So energetic exchange is required in any situation where you are giving something to another human being. And in your case, you are practicing readings, right? You're practicing giving readings. So you're practicing giving messages and healing out to another person. It's important that you are doing that within a balanced system where you ask for their feedback. And that's how they can pay you. This is something that most people won't do unless you ask. Okay. So this would be the equivalent of, let's say, Edgar, for example, 2 years down the road, you're out there giving psychic mediumship readings all the time, and you're charging an extremely low rate. Okay. And Spirit comes and says to you, you need to raise your rates a little bit because this is becoming out of balance. The reciprocity is not there. And this is a requirement in order for you to continue to do this work. You, if you're wise at that time, you would say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and raise my rates. I'm not going to ask about it. I'm not going to hesitate. You know, I'm not going to become double-minded. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go on my website right now and I'm going to raise my rates by a bit. That is something you need to start learning how to do now. But right now, the way you're doing it is by asking for feedback. Okay. So if you're giving a reading, you're delivering messages, you are supposed to stop and ask the person, how did you understand this? Where did it hit or not hit? Okay. Did you understand in particular the spirits that came through? You know, are you able to place them, or how can you help me and give me feedback so that I can better place them? And when you're dealing with your psychic ability, your empathic ability, and your mediumistic abilities, you need to be asking more questions of that symbol, of that vision, of that spirit. Okay? Because the bottom line is this. Yeah, we're here to work for spirit 100%. You know, we're here to work for spirit. We're not here to work for the client. We're not here to work for the public as much as we're here to work for spirit. But that also means that spirit needs to work with us, okay? And sometimes for us. So don't be afraid to ask. It's all about asking. That's your money. That's your payment. That's how you get better at this. All right, thank you very much. We're going to move on to another one who is next. This is Vanessa Dempsey. Also, I forgot to mention, if you're on TikTok or you're on Instagram, we are unable to pin the directions and there's no description box. Okay. So Diana, my producer, is like posting it repeatedly in the comment section. So if you're like, how do I do this? And you're on one of those platforms, you could just watch for her in the comment section and then, you know, whatever she tells you to do, go ahead. Or you could switch over here to YouTube at Ask Ivy the Medium, which is also the best way to support me. And it's right up in the description. If everyone could give this video a thumbs up, drop a comment of any kind, in particular letting me know where you're tuning in from and or how this resonates with you, that would be greatly appreciated. And please do hit subscribe and hype if you are on YouTube. All right, we're going to move on to Vanessa Dempsey asks, what abilities does Spirit want me to focus on? Vanessa, what ability do you guys want her to focus on? Psychic? Passing judgment on people and situations around you? Psychic. Judgment. Not discernment, but judgment on people and situations you're familiar with. That to me also looks like timelines. So, you know, with your psychic ability, you are talking straight up clairvoyance, the ability to predict accurately the past, the present, the future without having any information whatsoever. And psychic ability is not at all connected to your empathic ability or mediumship. So you could do it without spirit, okay? You can do it all the time, anytime you need or want. And it activates on its own as a whole separate language constantly, right? So you're paying attention to things like the right ear ringing, the tinnitus and messages, okay, that come through the also heart palpitations for you may be a thing. Now, a lot of people, and I can't prescribe a diagnosis, but they think they have anxiety disorders, or I like to call it Chihuahua syndrome, very tense, very nervous, you know, feeling all of a sudden like the winds of change are coming, or I have a terrible foreboding, or something is about to happen. I'm sure you're right. Something is about to happen, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. So just know that physically, the way a lot of us psychics get it is like, oh my God, you know, something's wrong. Something's coming. And it's like, yes, but calm down. You're supposed to use your psychic ability to figure out what, when, how, what am I supposed to do about it? You know, and it could be anything from winning the lottery to getting a job promotion. It doesn't have to be like the world is tumbling, but physically, again, our nervous system reads it as, not all of us, but most of us, as some type of heart palpitation, anxiety attack, and or the right ear ringing, the tinnitus activated, okay, or the pressure in the ear. So these are things that you're going to want to pay attention to. Your alert system. Okay, your psychic ability. How can you be using this right now? Well, look at judgment. And you have a lot of people and situations around you right now that are changing. No better time, okay, to practice your psychic ability and your accuracy rates than to pass judgment on how those situations and relationships are going to play out. Not only how they're going to play out, but when, ballpark when you think they're going to play out in specific ways. Keep a journal on all of that. And then as those changes occur, you can go back and check your detail and your timeline and see how accurate you were. Okay? Lots of fun. And make sure you are having fun with it. Okay? This isn't like, oh, I was wrong. This is punishable. I could never work with the public. No. It's never about perfection. You know, it's about progress, and it's about polishing your skills and abilities. Thank you, Vanessa. We're going to move on to another one. Who do we have coming in next? Josie C. And this one appears to be wide open. So we are going to just tell Josie C. Josie C, what intuitive abilities do I see going on with you? Psychic ability at the roots, psychic ability in the bloodline, through mom's side, through quite a few people also on dad's side, but mediumship more also running through dad's bloodline. It looks like one of these situations, which isn't really that uncommon, but it can make it harder to track. It looks like one of these situations where it skips a generation. So the mediumship can, like, how do I want to say this? I'm trying to see who had it. Looks like grandma had it and kind of nobody has it. Looks like you, I mean, obviously you have it. We're talking about you. Maybe you have an aunt. Maybe you have an aunt who had it. It seems like you know, it comes and goes a little bit even with your father, but it's certainly not that strong. And he may have also shoved it down, you know, did what society told him to do, that like, that's crazy, you know, or that's demonic, or it's like, I don't want to address this because quite frankly, it's scary. A lot of men are really paranoid about mediumistic abilities. Come on up, mama. About their mediumistic abilities, because it often comes through to them as like a paranormal problem, and women tend to see it as more curious. So it's possible your dad could have had more of it, but he shut down a lot of it. By the time it hits you, and certainly at this stage in your life, and for a 5-year period that we're about 2 years in right now, so we've got 3 more years to go, you seem to be wanting more of it. You seem to be entertaining it. You seem to be leaning in, feeding it, okay? Asking more questions about it when it comes. This is typically the left ear ringing, the left ear tinnitus. The grandmothers used to say left for love and right for spite, and that was fairly accurate. So when the left ear is ringing, it's mediumship. When the right ear is ringing, it's your psychic ability. I do think that you should be using more of your psychic ability, which has always been there with you. Again, that's mom's side of the family. And combining it with more of this mediumship that's increasing to maybe offer healings to people, offer readings to people, help people in your inner circle more, give more advice. I'm not saying that you're a therapist or a counselor per se, but there is this energy going on with you constantly where you're around people and you're in a sort of mentor type position where you can give them healing messages or channel for them in a way that adds something to the normal work that you're doing, okay, to the mainstream work that you're doing. It is something I want to say that's going to be asked for. It's going to be asked of you. It's going to be called for as you enter into, again, the next 3 years, but it feels like it's peaking around 6 to 7 years out from now, where the universe is going to be requesting more of this for you. And that has everything to do with your life contract. Okay. So what you signed on to before you came to Earth. So if you've been feeling like you want to get more out of the traditional work that you're doing and more into like holistic work, alternative healing, spiritual work, energy work, you know, anything like that, mind, body, soul. Okay. This is part of it for you. Okay, so pay close attention. You're also a level 4 empath, but I feel like you hit that probably about 3 years ago. So level 4 empathic ability. All right. Thank you, Josie. We're going to move on to another one. Who do we have next? So this is Mackenzie Mooser. Mackenzie wants to know, am I psychic medium or an empath? My dreams are the strongest. How can I listen more when my brain can't be still? Okay, well, how can I listen when my brain can't be still? Well, you know, I want you to analyze how you just said that. My brain can't be still. My brain can't be still. Your brain is your responsibility to control. So you have already you're resigned to going along for the ride. Okay. So let's start there, because every single thing I teach my psychic mediumship students is about control of the mind. That is the only way you are ever going to get control over these 3 abilities, because they will drive you batty. So how can I listen when my mind can't be still? You will make your mind still. You will decide, okay, to get the upper hand on these abilities. So that's the first step. The question here about your dreams, that your dreams are the strongest. So a couple different things are going on with your dreams that I want to break down here. And that is, I don't know why I'm showing you this paper, like you could possibly see it from where you are. Here's the first thing. You are having a considerable amount of visit dreams. Okay, the next thing I want to talk to you about is your astral travel, which is also considerable. You seem to be one of these people that's not very bothered by it. God bless you. And I'll explain what that means. Okay, but you do have a lot of prophecy. not prophecy in the sense that you are having psychic visions about world events and this is massively important, or about where like people who are kidnapped, missing persons, criminal investigations, things like this are. Some of that is happening, but for the most part, the prophecy is personal. And you've reached a point where I call it spillover, where your dreams are so full of prophecy that it's happening now when you're awake. Okay. So it's not just I'm asleep and I know what's going to happen for me. It's I'm awake and I'm seeing things right before they happen. Your prophecy has also gotten to a point of spillover where it isn't just personal for you. You're getting messages about other people in your life. Okay. You're receiving information that should be handed out to other people so they can be helped by it. Now, of course, you want to follow an ethical code of conduct. You don't want to be telling everybody in your life everything that's going on, or you're going to run them off. Okay. You have to have some level of being reputable in distributing that information. Okay. So be careful, but no, it is a value at this point. I want to talk about astral travel next for you. Something else is going on in your dreams. You are traveling to other dimensions. Most people who do astral travel naturally and regularly kind of hate it, because it can feel, thank you for the hearts on TikTok, it can feel like you're falling off the bed, or you're getting sucked into a dark tunnel, or, you're being sucked into a vacuum. You're being pulled into a train. That's a common dream symbol. You have essentially left your body and you are traveling through other dimensions, and you are doing work with other spirits and in, very important ways. And when you come back into your body, you have sleep apnea, sleep paralysis. I can't prescribe diagnose. These are the two most common side effects of doing frequent astral travel. When you get back into your body, you're discombobulated. You feel like you can't really get back in. You ever feel like you dreamed so hard, and when you woke up, you, for the rest of the day, were like not attached to your body? Obviously, you are, because you're functioning, but you're like loopy. And it's almost like there's a delay, a lapse in time. Okay. Thank you for the hearts on TikTok. You understand what I'm talking about? It's like, I can't get it together. Like, what the hell is wrong with me? God, I slept hard last night. That wasn't normal. That was astral travel. And it can last more than a day. It can last up to 3 days, where you're like just not really able to get back in there, So this is something you seem to really enjoy doing. All right. And I think you may want to toy with that more. But visit dreams, something else you're having now. This is mediumship. Okay, so your dreams, keep a dream journal every night, writing down where I was, who I worked with, the main symbology, and look that up. Visit dreams are where spirits are coming to channel through you, work with you, talk to you. Okay, pay attention to the difference between these three. That would be your next step. All right, who's next? What else do we have coming in here? We want to do last call. Okay, so anyone who has a question about your intuitive abilities, or if you want to leave it open-ended and just say, what intuitive abilities do I have? Now is the time. Drop your donation, and Diana, my beautiful producer, will be taking your question from whatever platform you are on. If you prefer to do this privately, you can go onto my website, Ivy Rivera Psychic Medium.com, and click on Intuitive Ability Assessment. You can also gift this to someone else. I do ask everyone to please share this video at this time. Give it a thumbs up. Drop a comment letting me know where you're tuning in from and what abilities you think you have. All right, do we have any more coming in? Or are we doing a short and sweet show tonight? What is also, Diana, can you also pop up what the next show is that we're doing? I want to say it's pet readings on Friday. Thank you so much. Okay, so everyone also, please mark your calendars. I will be back on Friday. This is probably one of the last Friday shows I'm going to do, because weekend shows just don't do very well. Everyone has other things, okay? Everyone, especially with spring being here, like everybody just wants to get out. But I will be back on Friday for pet readings, where it's my pet psychic show, where I deliver messages from your living or deceased pet. So you can get your early questions in for that now. That is going to be unlimited. So as many pets as you have, as many pets as you want to hear from. But a lot of people are tuning in for that because they have pets currently who are going through behavioral problems, or maybe they were a rescue. You're not sure about their history, you know, undetected health stuff, or if you are wondering often, you know, with their health, if they are approaching that mark where maybe it is time to let them go, cross over to the other side, whatever it is, okay? Or you just have a pet on the other side you want to hear from, you can get any type of question in at this time. Okay, we have another question coming in here. This is Lina. I don't know if that was supposed to be Linda or Lina, but it looks like Lina Dreamwalker to me. Okay, so that's how I'm going to say your name. Sorry if that's incorrect. Lina Dreamwalker said, what is my strongest ability, psychic or mediumship? I would say right now, the mediumship is increasing to become your strongest ability, but it has always been your psychic ability. So it's almost like if I were watching a race, you know, I got people racing up to the finish line. It's like, here's your psychic ability. It's always outrunning your mediumship. Your mediumship is right there. And it's like, as soon as it gets up there and it's even comparable, your psychic ability increases a little bit more. And then your mediumship tries to outrun it. And then, you know, it's like, who's going to make it to the finish line? I think there's a reason this is happening for you. You're one of these people that is really never supposed to be using one without the other. So, which is interesting because that's how I train my students, that we don't just want you to be a psychic, okay? Because it lacks light work, ethics, typically, okay? Discernment, typically. We don't just want you to be a medium because it lacks flavor, zest, detail. It can be real boring. Okay, we want both. We want both nicely supporting one another. And they are two completely different languages and two obviously totally different abilities. Psychic ability has nothing to do with mediumship. You can run your psychic ability all the time, and you don't need a spirit there, okay, to feed that. But mediumship is really best in conjunction with psychic ability. Why? Because spirit doesn't communicate wonderfully. You've got, you know, guides who communicate one way, angels that communicate another way, animals that communicate another way, the deceased that communicate completely different way, and all these other spirits in between. And it's like they all have their own separate language. And a lot of it is based on things like random symbology. And that's not flavorful or fun to work with. You know, it's often cryptic, and it can be like, what? I don't even know how to do this. And I think that's what you've been going through, is sort of it's not that you've been shutting your mediumistic abilities down, but because they are so much additional labor, okay, on behalf of the reader, you haven't given it as much attention as your psychic ability. Psychic ability comes through, you're like, I know what this is. I know when this is. I know who this is. I know how this is. Okay, I just know. I know. And it's fast and it's easy. So it has a sort of instant gratification and a quick turnaround with proof. But, you know, mediumship is more work, which is why most people don't do it. Okay. But right now it's trying to take the lead. It's trying to take the lead. And let me tell you, it never happens without your engagement with mediumship. Okay. So really feed it, lean in. And to have both of these working for you simultaneously, I think is going to be incredibly, incredibly powerful. But yeah, always it's been the psychic ability for you. Always. All right. Do we have any other questions? If this resonated with you, if you already got your reading and it resonated, please give a little testimonial, okay, in the comment section so that other people can get their answers. Yes, Lena says, thank you so much. You are very welcome, Lena. It is Lena Dreamwalker. Okay, so I did say that right. Yes, absolutely. Have fun with it. Just a reminder to everyone who's tuning in for this, whether it's like right now or later once it's published. And again, this will be published in about 24 hours on YouTube at Ask Ivy the Medium, and everything will be timestamped, so you can go back and listen to your messages. Vanessa said, thank you so much, Ivy. You're welcome, Vanessa. Thank you for being here. I do want to remind everyone that there are about 2 seats left in the Psychic Mediumship course, and it's not too late for you to get caught up. It is the only one I'm teaching in 2026. but we are evergreen. Okay. So you can join and take the course anytime. You don't have to be doing this with all the other students if you don't want to, though I highly recommend it. All right. Do we have any other ones coming in, or are we at time? No, questions are not closed, Nicole. Oh, that's up to, okay. That's up to Diana. And Diana, I'm going to leave it up to you. You're the boss, girl. So whatever you want to do with that. I see people asking. I mean, if you guys are looking to jump in right now, I mean, I was going to wrap it up, but if you're looking to jump in right now, drop a donation. This is unlimited, so you can ask as many questions as you want. You are either going to drop a question asking about experiences you're having or your abilities, or you can leave it open-ended and just say, tell me what abilities I have. Okay. All right. So Nicole will be up next. I'm also planning on doing a couple lives while my TikTok is still up and running. God only knows like when, you know, that's going to end up getting shut down, because TikTok has been really crucifying my channel for the last 2 years. Removing my active followers. TikTok has not added one new follower in over 2 years. So I should be well over 1 million by now. And they just keep coming in and coming in and coming in, and I can see them, and all they do is deduct. So TikTok continues to cripple me out. And I'm just kind of riding that wave, you know. I'm just making sure if you guys see me sharing a lot of other people's videos, it's because with the following I do have, at the very least, what I could do at this point is to expose important topics and other creators. Okay, so that's what I'm doing with that channel. However, I am planning on doing some lives. I only did one live. This was about a month ago, where it was just unscheduled and I didn't have a producer, and I was just directly, you know, interacting with you guys. It's just like a pop-up live. And I am planning on doing some more of those. So for those of you on TikTok who continue to support me, thank you so much. And stay tuned for those. And we could just have more sort of personal interactions, okay, coming in. All right, if she did not send it by now, Diana, we are going to go ahead and wrap up. Okay, and Nicole, what is the question, or did you just want it open-ended? Anyone else who wants to get in on tonight's show, go ahead and do so now. Drop your $10 donation. I will tell you what intuitive abilities you have, or you can ask, okay, specifically, I have this experience. What the heck is this? Why does this thing happen to me? You know, one of the most common things I see with people is that they have really, really vivid dreams. These dreams end up being almost like deja vus. They watch the things that they see in their dreams play out in real time eventually. Sometimes it happens right away. Sometimes it takes like 5 years, sometimes 15, 20 years, you know, but they always end up happening. And they think it's random. They think it's sporadic. They wonder, gee, what is that connected to? That, people, is prophecy. And that means that you are strongly psychic, aka clairvoyant, and you should be using it every single day of your life. Not only for your own messages, but messages for other people. It is not limited to your dreams. It is not limited to deja vu. Okay? It is not random at all. You're just not using it as much as you could. Nicole says, anything I can do currently to strengthen my psychic mediumship. Okay. Nicole. Psychic mediumship. Well, this one's tricky. You don't know the language. Get in for my psychic mediumship course. I'm the only one who teaches this language internationally, because other trainers out there don't know it. They simply don't. And or if they know parts of it, they're gatekeeping the hell out of it. So you got to get educated on what the language is. There is no shortcut to this. Okay. So you need to learn the language, because they are separate languages. Something else that you can be doing to increase your psychic mediumship at this point is embracing it, which goes along with, you know, getting educated. I mean, because you have to say, I want more of this. I want to understand this. I'm showing up for it. I'm embracing it. You can't just ask for more and more like hits or downloads, right? Or messages, because you can't use them. You don't know how to transfer it. Okay. But one of the other things that you can be doing is keeping lists, keeping little journals. You ever see those little, they're really adorable. Maybe the Dollar Tree. I don't know where I saw these. They're hard to find sometimes. You can just order them, I'm sure, but they're little teeny tiny composition notebooks. Okay, it looks like something a kid would have. But I would strongly suggest for you, Nicole, that you keep one in your bed, you keep one in your purse, you keep one in your car, in the visor, you keep one on your person at all times. And when you think you are getting a message from a spirit, I want you to write down how that felt to you physically. Okay. Did your ears ring? Left ear ringing is mediumship. Did you get heart palpitations? That's common with the spirit coming through with a message. Did you sweat all of a sudden? Random bouts of profusive sweating. Okay. Did you feel dizzy? Did you feel numb? In like a tingling in the mouth, the tongue, the lips, the hands? You know, what type of spirit did you feel was coming through? What did they say to you? And lean into it and then write it down, journal it out a little bit. Okay. I would also pay close attention when the other ear rings. Your right ear rings, the tinnitus, that's your psychic ability, your clairvoyance activating. I want you to write down what message came through, what vision you had, what you felt, what you thought. Okay. What did you think it was pertaining to? Now, some of this is going to feel like guessing. That's fine. Some of this is going to feel like straight up my imagination. I think I'm crazy. That's fine. Okay. That's all part of the brain. These different parts of the brain being used to, you know, use the language, transfer these feelings into messages. Okay. Get the detail. And I think if you start paying more attention to these lists, to these entries in these journals, you're going to be able to decipher which ability is activated with you and how accurate you are in those messages that you're getting. Okay. And you're not taking into account, I know in this question you were just asking about your psychic and mediumistic abilities, but you can't learn the language of psychic ability, you can't learn the language of mediumship without also taking into account, for you, not everybody, but for you, the fact that you are also empathic. Okay, because that's its own language. So empaths are automatically all three, automatically. And you're trying to sort of in this question ask about 2 out of the 3 abilities when you've got one outranking both of them. So you need to learn that language as well. So also ask yourself, oh, I think I got a message, or I was activated, or I'm receiving information, but it came from my empathic ability. So the next step for you is understanding the difference between the 3 and then breaking down that language. Okay? There is an empathic awareness class. If you don't want to get in for the whole psychic mediumship course, there's an empathic awareness training. I train therapists and doctors. I teach this at universities. It's up on my website. Just go to empathic awareness, or you can go, it has its own website. You can go to Ivy Rivera empathiceducator.com and you could start with that. I think that would actually help you out a lot. Okay, we're going to move on to another one. This is just some feedback. Josie C6772 said, thank you for the reading. You are so welcome, Josie. Thank you for joining us. All right. Do we have any more? Shannon Howard, and this looks open-ended to me. I'm writing so big today. I'm just wasting trees here. Rein it in. All right. Shannon, what was that? Howard? Shannon Howard. What abilities does Shannon Howard have going on right now, and how could she best use them? Mediumship, a lot of mediumship going on. You're kind of moving out of a phase where it was like empathic ability, and holy shit, and how much work can this increase? You know, you did level jump significantly. You went from a level 1, 2 to a 3, 4. Like, I like to categorize these as 2 totally separate things, you know, but when you entered in the last like 2 to 3 years, you entered into the higher category, and something happened at about 1.5 years ago that triggered you. Okay, intuitive increases. This could have been traumatic, could have just been a little dramatic, okay, but it does feel like significant change. And what happened at that time, moving up into level 3, 4, is that you develop two new things. So that's telepathy and electric person syndrome. Electric person syndrome. If you ever watched the movie Carrie, I haven't watched the other ones, so I don't know what the heck's in there. I'm sure they put it in, but in the original I'm talking about, okay, Carrie would get really excited or really upset, and it was like pig's blood and fires and shit burning down. You know what I mean? And that's what electric person syndrome is. Essentially, you're such a strong energy manipulator at the higher levels of empathic ability, because that's what empathic ability is. It's energy manipulation. You're such a strong energy manipulator that when you're really upset, you're really excited, you drain batteries and burn out light bulbs and shut down computer systems, and you can fully charge a phone, you can fully drain a phone. Maybe when you're in the checkout line, the computer systems act up and they're like, oh my God, I don't even know what to do. The cashier's like, what the hell is happening? The whole system shut down. You have to pull away. You have to step away, and then it starts working again. Or, you're at work, you're having a bad day, and you're shutting down all the freaking computers. Okay. A lot of people, like my cousin has this. It is genetic. It runs in families. But, my cousin will go under a streetlight and it'll go off, and she'll keep driving. It'll go back on, go under another one, goes off, goes back on. Okay. So why am I telling you this? Well, because you need to, first of all, you need to figure out what the heck you want to do with this. Okay. This makes you tremendous. Like, if you wanted to get into psychic surgery, okay, that would be good for you. If you want to just do more with like energy work, healing in any way, readings, of course, things like this, but it's healing, right? So empathic people using their energy manipulation abilities for the greatest good, it's healing others, it's positively influencing situations in the world, it's manipulating, okay, for things to be moved into a higher vibration. Working with animals would also be great for you and them. Yep, medical intuitive, okay, anything with this. But you also have telepathy, and that's something you're going to want to get in check, okay? Because telepathy, when telepathy first kicks in, let me know in the comment section if you had this. If you went through a lot of change in your life, like a pregnancy, birth, a death, a job change, a divorce, you relocated, whatever, something big happened. Maybe even like you went under for surgery, or there was a car accident or whatever, right? And then your abilities increased. And you developed telepathy, the ability to hear other people's thoughts. Let me know in the comment section if this happened to you. If you got very paranoid for a while, like you felt like everyone was out for you, someone's always vying for your job, people are talking trash behind your back, they didn't like me, they're thinking bad things, you know what I mean? It can start with very low level energy like that, but eventually you're able to hear all types of thoughts and intentions with people. And with that, you want to be real careful, okay, because you could start to think that you're having episodes. I'm just going to leave it at that. Okay. And boundary setting, of course, we don't want to hear what's in most people's heads. Okay. Because why? It's a cesspool in there. So just learning boundaries. Okay. Stuff like that. Highland and Heather too said empathic has been rough. Yes. Okay. Highland, my husband can feel my energy prickly when I'm excited or upset. Yeah. So, and then lights flicker. Yes. And so, we're watching crazy shit like that. Like I watched a woman who, she didn't really know she had it. And we were all there doing like a group Reiki session on this guy who had this horrible disease that kept coming back. And so we were all there to work on him. She wasn't. She won't address her abilities. She doesn't know she has abilities. She picked up a light bulb and it was shattered and it turned on. And it's like, why aren't you at this table helping us heal this guy? Like, you're going to be the one factor that comes in and like wipes this freaking disease out of his body. Like, if it can be done, it would be you that can do it. You know what I mean? Like, she has, but there she is hiding from it. This is where we affect other people's moods. We set the tone in a room. We can manipulate and change. Okay. Most things, as long as they're not contracted, most things. and we want to use it for the greater good, of course, but we have to know our power first. And we see that power play out in the way other people react to us. Computers, batteries react to us. Okay, things like this. It can be a lot of fun too. Highlander Heather 2 says, yes, I've answered people out loud when they think something. There you go. Okay, thank you for that feedback. I want to hear more from you guys. I'm always asking, but I don't think there are a lot of telepaths out there, or a lot of people just think they're being paranoid, but you know, you're not. This is an ability to know what people are thinking, sometimes even before they do. And so you're saying it out loud. It's trippy, right? And they're like, how did you know to say that? Or are we, you know, are we in sync? Or they can also think, be careful for stalkers, because they'll think you have a deeper connection than what you do. To you, it's just nothing. And to them, it's so meaningful. It's pretty interesting. Okay, do we have any more donation questions coming in? Okay, is this another paid question, or is this, did I even do this person? I don't know if I did this person. I'm just waiting to hear back from you, Diana. Oh, okay, so this is another one? Okay, because I've got two different names, Highland Heather too, and Shannon. I didn't know. I didn't know. Oh, this is just her feedback. Oh, okay. So did you inherit them? Yeah, I mean, you can, you know, typically we inherit. So, typically we inherit our empathic ability. It can happen with empathic ability that you went through such harsh circumstances in your life that it's triggered, it's activated. Okay, so this is just a general message for everyone. I got to do this puzzle on TikTok or it's going to shut me down. But so we can see that with, all right, I got it on the first try. We can see that with our empathic ability, if you went through abandonment, abuse, any type of significant childhood trauma, also if you enter into an abusive relationship where you're trapped for an extended period of time, like a bad marriage, ladies, okay, you can find that you're very empathic after that as well. Mediumship is not only strongly hereditary, it tends to run in certain bloodlines like Native and Indigenous, Black people. The Latino population has the highest rate of it out of anyone. So it can be in that bloodline. The Irish have it a lot. And yeah, I think that there was something else. There was something else I was going to say with that, though. You know, and all of these abilities, that's what I was going to say. All of these abilities are present in all of us. So when people talk about gifts, like that isn't a real thing. Some people do have it to a heightened degree, 100%. But everyone is psychic, mediumistic, and empathic. And we can also have, you know, highly empathic people, and we think that's a great thing, but they are the biggest sociopaths and narcissists and psychopaths out there. So empathic ability can go either way. It isn't necessarily good. Neither is psychic or mediumistic ability, right? So there's a high and a low vibration to all of these, and everyone has these abilities. So this is why when a lot of people say to me, well, I'm a skeptic. Well, I'm a skeptic too. I mean, I don't believe anything until I see proof of it, you know? But spirit doesn't care if you're a skeptic. So mediumship doesn't exist because you believe in it. You know what I'm saying? And now you're like, well, I'm going to embrace it. Spirit doesn't care whether you believe in it or not. Spirit is going to communicate when spirit wants to communicate. Spirit will possess your body if you are open and vulnerable to it. You know, spirit isn't waiting for your acceptance of anything. And everyone on earth is a psychic. And we know this because you're alive. So we use our intuition, our gut instinct, that part of our brain, to keep ourselves alive, to run to a place of safety, to avoid certain things, right? We know that's just gut instinct. So anyone who is alive is using their psychic ability on a daily basis. And again, none of these things require anyone's belief. Stay skeptic, but, you know, yes, We all have it. So it's not a gift. It's an innate ability, and we can develop, increase all of these, which is why I teach the psychic mediumship course. Okay, very cool. Love that question. Do we have any other ones coming in? Okay, we are at time. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. I will be back on Friday for the pet readings show, where you can also get your early questions in now for that. But you guys can hear from your living or deceased pet, and we can ask, because it's going to be unlimited, as many questions as you want about as many pets as you need to. And if you want to book an intuitive ability assessment privately, that's what we were really doing here tonight. You can do that up on my website, Ivy Rivera Psychic Medium.com. If you need a reading or a healing in the meantime, also go to the website. I do work internationally. Thank you so much, Diana. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I will see you guys Friday. Have a good night.